Welcome into the latest edition.
Don't know any chair now. Too late. Too late.
We
Too
got
late.
Stevie a high chair.
Is he standing?
Let's a couple of days
Can you
ago.
bring him a sippy cup,
Hey,
please?
Jan, if I was standing, I wouldn't be as high.
Yeah, guys, the other day we had a problem and like his chin was barely touching the table.
Honestly.
So, went from one extreme to the other.
Compensating much?
All right. Okay. Did you guys hear about the Scotland fans hiring a school bus to take them to and from games in order to cut down on the costs? And will Craig and Stevie be joining them?
That's a good shout. Unfortunately, we won't be joining them.
Yeah. I wonder when last them two have been on a school bus. That's the first question.
I'll tell you what.
Can you?
Pretty genius, that.
I'll tell you what. They'll all be all sprightly when they get on the bus, but when they get off it, they'll be falling all over the place.
Why is that, Stephen?
I think there might be some liquid refreshment going on in the bus.
Now, can you imagine? Can you imagine when you come into the bus, you think this is a bus ride to some enjoyment, and then the first one is you see Craig Burley sitting there. That is a bus ride.
Craig would definitely be at the back of the bus, though.
Here's a
wouldn't he?
question.
He's
Yeah,
got that
right.
energy.
Is it against the law in this country to drink beer on a bus like that?
Oh, I don't know.
Or on a private bus?
I don't know, Stevie.
I mean, I know it's allowed in Scotland, but
It was not forbidden in the 90s.
Why a school bus and not just a regular bus? Why do the Scots have to go for a school bus?
well, probably because it's available. It will be available. Where are they going to
There
get
is
another
one
bus
bus
from?
in Scotland.
Anywhere. Surely there's a lot of buses going around.
I've never seen any.
But
You see?
Did you just say you've not seen any buses around?
No. Hello, the school buses.
A lot of school buses, though.
Exactly. That's why they can hire one. There's a tons of them.
It's true. All right.
No bus is a bus
The
shop.
next two are back to back because there was a big argument yesterday between Stevie and Don. Don is right. That is never a penalty. Penalty given on field, not a clear and obvious error. Check complete. This was the Arsenal overturned penalty, and it caused a big argument yesterday, guys, on the show. Jan's nodding away.
Right, so what's
no,
going on with those two messages?
I'm thinking of that panel if we're going to have a vote again, because
Yeah.
I think that I don't think it was a penalty, but I don't think VAR should have intervened. So I'm probably a suitable member for that panel, as I sound.
So Chris Foy is the former
I think
referee, right? So he's saying
I think-
penalty given, no VAR intervention.
Should have stood, he's saying.
Right.
But
Who's best
I
team?
think it's what Don said. I think it's what
team.
Don said. Said it wasn't. Said agreed that it wasn't a clear and obvious error. He agreed with that because I followed that yesterday with the argument with Stevie. But he was saying that it was for him at first. It wasn't a penalty, which I agree with him. I'm sorry, Stevie. I know you were defending that, but yes, that was a light mistake, contact, let's say. But yes, I think the VAR shouldn't have overturned the decision. So.
Okay. UEFA says for handballs that if there is a deflection, it must be a clear change of trajectory. And if the ball roughly stays on its intended path, then it's still a penalty. Do they need to have a rethink?
Trajectory.
I thought there was a clear change
You know
of
what?
path.
Do you know what? I'll give them one thing. They're not stupid. Because so you read that verbatim,
Right.
roughly.
Yes.
If that is not the biggest get out of jail free card, so now we've got to try and figure out what roughly means. So that's the get out.
Yeah.
Why don't you start with a Frenchman and a Norwegian? Try to explain the viewers what trajectory means. You start, Frank.
Yeah. Exactly. No, but it's really thing that it's hard for us to really understand what they mean and to translate and to really have a clear idea of what they want to explain to us. I think they're going deeper and deeper in their bases in the way that they make it more complicated. And the word, I agree with Stevie, roughly, at the point when you put a roughly, it means you don't know. It's a question of interpretation. That's what football is. So there will be always for and against a decision. But try to make it clear at the best, because that's a big mess right now.
Yeah, but this is politics. We've seen now that the spin doctors and the politics statements comes into football, because what they're saying here is nothing. They're just working on a sentence that people shouldn't understand it and try to make it clever. That is it. The same as in politics.
Okay. Frank, Luis Enrique said if you didn't like the PSG Bayern game this week, then your opinion isn't worth listening to. Is he right?
Well, he said more than that. I don't know if we can say that in US television, but he said as dick opinion. And I agree with him. And I have that opinion too.
Even as a defender, you agree with him?
He was 90% right. No, yes, I think on some point, the two first goals that Bayern conceded and the goal that I think it was the one from Olise that PSG conceded was awfully defended. That's what I personally think. It was a great game. Maybe it was impossible to cope with the offensive talent that we've seen, the action, and I said, well, if I'm in the middle of it, how do I defend? Because they are so good. They know exactly what to do. The pace is great. The technique is great. The offensive tactic is great. Yes, but still, what I've seen on the two first goals, I mean, come on. On the header, what is his name? Neves scored. Neves, not that tall. So that's a defensive mistake. When Olise scored, he was surrounded by 4 PSG players, but nobody attacked him. So that's a defensive mistake that we can talk about, and I'm sorry. We have to say it. That was a fantastic game, of course, and to just point the defensive mistake is a big error, because you have to emphasize the fact that was a great game. But as a pundit, we have to say it, and as a former defender, I'm sorry, I have to say it, even if it's a S, but that opinion.
But have to be said that
from you on this game yet.
now Neves is taller than Stevie, by the way. I just have to say that for the record.
Not today.
Not today. Exactly.
Wemby, not anyone.
I will say it quite simple, Kay. If you don't love this football game, there is something wrong with your love life.
Yeah, nobody said they didn't love the game. But why wouldn't Enrique come out and just be honest about it? And just say, along the lines of, we want to try and create and score goals, and in doing so, sometimes we do leave some space that will cause us problems on the counter-attack. How about you just say that, instead of turning around?
He's a football fan.
I mean,
he's a football romantic.
Yeah, but Jan, it sounds ridiculous when you turn round, when you've lost 4 goals at home, and you say, our defenders played well. Come on. That's just, we're not stupid. We're not 3 years old.
Yeah, but don't we like it? We are now. No, we're not 3 years old. We are like 300 years old. But what I will want to say is that sometimes we do criticize managers who are iPad coaches, and they say all these things, writing up things, and say all the right things. They sound like a gaffer that loved the football game, and he said instead of saying that we were 5-2 up and then 5-4, I'm just very proud to win that game against Bayern Munich, which is a good team, and we probably need 3 goals next week to go through. I think that is good. It's freshening that someone says that. He's just a lover of the game.
Yeah, but that's my point, Jan. He spoiled it by trying to convince us that they defended well. That was my point. You can't. I agree with you in everything you said there, but don't turn around and say you defended well. You've lost 4 goals at home. Come on.
That's fair.
All right, let me stay with you, Jan. Do you see Luchito Diaz winning the Ballon d'Or? Luis Diaz for Ballon d'Or?
I don't think he's #1 candidate from Bayern either. I think that he will have Kane and Olise in front of him, but he sure had a fantastic season, and he loves to play against PSG. But now I can't see him winning the Ballon d'Or.
Stevie?
No, I think ditto with everything Jan said, basically.
Right. Chaka, when will Real Madrid announce the signing of Scott Parker as head coach? Company has shown that Burnley relegated head coaches are actually elite.
Nice one.
Good one.
That is very true, actually. That is very true.
Ask Sean Dyche.
Yeah, right before the World Cup. We're waiting for Don to confirm.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Don is a Real Madrid
Don's
insider.
rumours, not to be confused with Donnarumma.
Yeah, yes. Don said Scott Parker.
Yes.
Put it on Don.
Put it on Don. Don's been
No, but that's
bringing
going to be
rumours to the
funny.
show.
It's going to be funny because we all talked about the fact that the next coach will have, a certain aura to convince maybe Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappé to, or even Jude Bellingham to track back. Good luck to Scott Parker because the aura is not really there, like thousands of coaches, you have only 3 or 4 maybe we can get, and I'm not even sure that Jurgen Klopp will have all the respect from those 2 guys or 3 guys to track back.
Why firing shots at poor Jurgen?
Shots straight.
He's just jetting around in his Red Bull private jet, chilling.
Believe you, Frank.
Frank's
Yeah.
just firing shots.
Yeah.
Stevie's bag of chips.
Yeah, but he's not Zinedine Zidane. He's not Zinedine Zidane or somebody else or Didier Deschamps. That's the point. That's the point. When you come into the dressing room, you have to have also a pass as a player. And if you have Ronaldo, if you have Zidane or Didier Deschamps or maybe some others, we really have a past as a player and on top of it as a coach.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
he's
to sum
coming
it
back,
up,
Frank.
to sum up this episode, Frank Leboeuf says that Scott Parker is not Zinedine Zidane. Thank you very much, Frank Leboeuf. Thank you.
I wanted you to be sure. I wanted to be clear about that,
All right. A lot of rumours about.
But I love Scott Parker.
Well, you've just said he's got no aura.
Yeah.
What?
It's a bit late for that.
Well, you
Frank.
don't know. Maybe I'm his
I love
agent.
Scott Parker, but I hate Jurgen
Yeah.
Klopp. Frank loves Scott Parker, but hates Jurgen Klopp. Oh, boy. Yeah.
You think of Paul Parker.
Oh, boy.
All right. We love
Tony
Paul Parker
Parker.
too
I
here,
thought
all
about
right?
Tony Parker. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I thought it was
Okay.
Tony Parker.
A lot of rumours about Pep leaving. Why would he go? Man City looks set up to dominate for the next few years. Jan.
Fair comment, but it's so hard to read Pep. I've been working very closely with him now for 3 years. I still can't figure him out. You try to pick his brain. You don't know if he wins the Premier League now, will he stay or will that mean he will go? If he loses it playing bad, does that mean that he will stay or will he go? Who should they get? Oh, someone said, let's get Vincent Kompany. Oh, that's a great idea. I'm back to Taylor Swift for my 60th again. I mean, how can you wish for that? Vincent Kompany would stay at Manchester City and so on. It's very, very hard. I think the only one who knows that is Pep Guardiola. And I also think, where should he go? What will be his next challenge? Or will he just go to Central Park or Parker, as Leboeuf will call it, to read a book?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's not going to go to Real Madrid. That's for sure.
Well, yeah.
I can bet on that.
Probably a certainty.
Yeah.
Stevie.
I think Jan's right. Who knows? You don't know.
I don't know what Pep.
You just don't know. You really don't.
Can't second guess Pep. Jan's been trying, but he can't quite get through. Are they set up to dominate, though? Again.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be challenging. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't go. I think it's a little bit of a step to go dominate. I mean, they haven't won the league yet this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, little early.
All right.
Yeah.
Which player, if they had the work ethic, dedication, and mentality that Cristiano Ronaldo had, would have been the best player ever?
Ronaldinho.
Messi.
Tough to argue with that. Tough to argue with that.
Ronaldinho had the most
David Ginola.
my French laissez-faire attitude, and yet still.
Sorry?
Just ask Frank. And yet still won everything there is to win in world football. If he had the work ethic of Ronaldo, God alone knows. But then he wouldn't have been the joy, probably wouldn't have been the joy that he was as a player. But that's my answer.
Frank?
George Best.
Oh,
George
George
Best.
Best.
You talking about Ronaldinho? You talking about Ronaldinho,
Yeah.
Shaka?
Yeah, I said Ronaldinho is my vote. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with him, with you. But yeah, I was thinking immediately because the same position. I was thinking about David Ginola. because I mean Xhaka played with him, and David was at some point absolutely amazing. But that was another era. That was different situation. But what he did for Paris Saint-Germain and after what he did for Newcastle was pretty exciting. I'm pretty sure with more works. Don't forget that he was also smoking, and well, you know, that wasn't the perfect dedication that he had to put on in the football world. But what a player!
What about the phenomenal Ronaldo?
But I was just thinking, but for injuries, less about work ethic
that's
and more
definitely.
about injuries for Phenomenal.
Ronaldinho's number one. What about Balotelli?
Yeah.
Neymar?
No, Ronaldinho's number one. But
Yeah.
what about Balotelli?
But if Brazilian Ronaldo had stayed fit, I don't think anybody would have come close to him. I think he was as
George Best.
unplayable a player.
Stevie,
I
what
put-
about George Best?
I put him on, Sir Frank. I think that George
Yeah.
Best is a
Not
great
George Best,
example. Imagine, but Frank, imagine if David Ginola was pretty as well.
Imagine if he had nice hair.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had Jan's hair.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yo.
I would say Jan Fjotov. Imagine how good I would have been.
You had an incredible work ethic, didn't you, Jan?
I had. That's what I had. I took out what I had, which is good or bad news. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
All the
But David
work
Ginola.
ethic.
But I think when you see George Best, when you see when he ended his career, more or less, for Manchester United, it was not very long after the '68 final when they beat Benfica at Wembley. And George Best, when you see and what people say that saw him play with him, I think and George Best must be a great candidate for this answer.
Yeah, Jan, your favourite player is Marco van Basten, right?
Yeah, but he had the work ethic.
Oh, yeah.
He was just unlucky with injuries.
Yeah.
For me, I haven't seen, and I've seen many, I have never seen a complete number 9 as Marco van Basten. He was the best thing. And if you haven't seen him, just have a look at him. He had everything.
Wow. I'm going to add Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff, I mean, was absolutely fantastic. And, I mean, life was important for him outside of football as well. So it's why I put him in the list, because I'm pretty sure that he would have played the same time than Ronaldo. I'm pretty sure he would have been more professional, more dedicated to the football. And he was already fantastic because, I mean, he changed the world of football. He changed the way of thinking the football. But he would have had more effect in that matter if we compare with Cristiano.
We've missed one guy,
I know who you're going to say.
Gaza.
I was thinking you'd say Diego Maradona. Can you imagine Maradona?
Yeah.
If he had that work ethic.
Oh, yeah.
You imagine Gaza?
Didn't even need
Yeah.
it. Everybody didn't even need it. Everybody-
Exactly. He's in the conversation for the best ever. And again, he was just as easy as anything.
Yeah.
But Gassa is a good shout, Stevie. Gassa is a
Yeah,
good shout
imagine.
because
Yeah.
if you see his career when he got his injury in that final, and then he went to Lazio, and we have to be honest, yes, he had in 1996, he had a good European Championship, but still Gassa, he had the potential to be the biggest around.
Yeah. You've got to read his book, though, as well, and then you see it's a lot more deep-rooted, and it goes right back to his childhood,
Yeah.
too. Yesterday, guys, we asked these two who their childhood hero was in football. I'm assuming, Jan, yours was Marco van Basten.
No, it was later. Believe it or not, on a day when it seems to Leeds have saved a position in the place in the Premier League, it was Billy Bremner, of all people. Number
Really?
4 for Leeds United.
That's a great choice.
Billy Bremner.
It's a great choice.
What about you, Frank?
I didn't get the question. Sorry, can you repeat that
Your
question?
football
please?
hero when you were growing up.
Michel Platini.
Yeah.
The French guy was named the best
not
player ever for Juventus. And what he did, I think he scored 8 goals in 6 games in the European Championship in '84, and two how do you say, a trick. The guy was absolutely fantastic. Couldn't do everything, and what a player! That's another guy, you know, you could put on the list because he wasn't really dedicated. I mean, that was an artist. What a player!
Played against him twice, Platini. And I don't think I remember ever seeing him on the field. You couldn't pick this guy up. He was invisible on the field. You couldn't pick him up. He would just appear in the middle of the park to pick it up, or in the box to put it in the net. I mean, he was like...
That's a great description.
Honestly.
I love that description.
Great.
He had a little cloak. He had a Harry Potter cloak
He
going on.
did, yeah.
Okay, who is the most
Because
miserable?
I saw many players completely invisible on the field. They never appeared.
The other way.
Who is the most miserable to sit next to on the flight home? Stevie after a Liverpool loss, or Frank after any game involving VAR?
Let me tell you something. I have seen Stevie during a Liverpool loss. And I never mind sitting next to him. I don't want to be on the same plane. I don't want to be on the same plane. I'll walk. Yeah.
The first time I met Frank privately, I played against him, but the first time I met him privately was after my career in the Caribbean. I was sitting next to him in a bus when we had a PFA tournament in the Caribbean. And I loved sitting next to Frank, but it has to be said, that was before VAR.
No chance now.
Yeah.
No chance now. All right,
true.
thank you so much for sending in your questions. Nice stuff, guys. Oh,
Bye,
Stevie's
guys.
chair's gone down a little bit.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Hey.
You can sit down now, Stevie. You can sit down.